This is where you live?
Oh, yes. Sometimes. And excuse the mess. I don't get many visitors.
Don't worry about it. I have 3 brothers. I've seen a mess or two.
Well, you're being kind. I admit I hadn't realized how bad it was.
You said I'm here to meet someone?
Ah, yes. Do you know what an oracle is?
Let me guess. Another idol?
Not quite. They serve as a channel of sorts for my powers. This allows them to offer insight, knowledge they have no earthly means to possess. There's always been one. Over the ages, no matter where I go, one manages to find me.
Meaning there's an oracle here.
There is.
What?
I've brought someone to see you.
How many times do I have to tell you? I'm not a magic fortune cookie. Is that what Paul told you? Oracle's my handle. And even if I was the Oracle, I'm certainly not his Oracle.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Oracle.
Huh. Well, she's got better manners than the last lady you brought here. But at least that one had a casserole. Do you have a casserole?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Look, I'm sure he told you all sorts of nonsense. I use computers. I'm a hacker. That's it.
I ask very little of you, Oracle. Your help here would be appreciated.
Fine. Don't get your abs in a twist. Okay, so Paul brought you all this way just to see little old me. What's on your mind, sis?
You keep saying Paul. Do you mean Apollo?
Yeah, I know. Apollo, if that is his real name, says he's a god of prophecy, blah, 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 blah.
But you don't believe him.
Believe him? Who'd believe that? It's super weird, but he's a decent guy, so he can be Apollo if he wants, but I just can't call him that.
So you're an oracle who uses the internet, huh?
Like I said, it's my handle, and yeah. It's a sweet setup, huh? Some of it's even legit.
The parts I purchased for her, presumably.
Bargain for, fair and square. And I keep telling you to get me an Ethernet cable.
I don't know what that is.
It's the 21st century, Paul. And your 21st century Oracle needs her some download speed, okay?
Do you live here?
I crash here, yeah. Better here than home.
She showed up one day, as the oracles do. Naturally, she is welcome to stay as long as she likes.
And see the way he talks. I thought maybe he was a creepiverse, but nah, Paul's aight.
The highest of praise.
He'd be more alright if he did some laundry.
Tell me, is Apollo always so...
incredibly emo? Like a sack stuffed with sad?
I am standing right here.
Don't get me wrong. It grows on you after a while.
Grace, surely this is not what you came for.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I just can't resist.
It's fine. I just don't need to be put under the microscope in my own abode.
Abode. He cracks me up.
I'm looking for information about someone named Calliope. Can you help?
Oh, the lady from that apartment I sent Paul to. Yeah, I've been checking that out.
What did I tell you?
I looked it up. You could do the same if you learned to use a computer. Here, hold up, I'll show you. There. The apartment was originally purchased 2 years ago by a holding company, Core with a K Enterprises.
Oh. Oh, I see. That would be Persephone.
Persephone is in the one from the chorus. The one who wanted me dead, Persephone.
I wasn't aware Persephone and Calliope were friendly. Certainly not friendly enough for Persephone to give Calliope an apartment. The good news is that Persephone is easy to find. I can take you to her if you like.
I'm thinking she won't be happy to see me.
Persephone is rarely happy to see anyone.
Great! We're all done now.
Thank you for your help, Oracle. Please, do try to get out from behind your screens at least once today. Perhaps go for a walk.
Yeah, sure, will do. Leave a tip on your way out.
Welcome to the underworld.
Wow. How have I never heard of this place?
Persephone keeps it a secret, while still managing to draw a crowd every night. Don't ask me how. Here in the underworld, idols can be themselves, even if they don't look human.
Do you come here often?
Oh, no. Persephone and I aren't friends.
Is she friends with anyone?
Not many, no. Except Calliope, apparently. If we're to find Persephone in all this, we'll need to split up. Have you considered what you'll say to her?
I'll figure something out. I can be persuasive when I want to be.
I'm aware. I'm just not sure even you could sweet-talk Persephone.
Is that a challenge?
It's the truth. If Persephone really was friends with Calliope, talking to you might be the last thing she wants. You need to be prepared to use your powers, as you did with me. Come find me in the crown if you need anything. Otherwise, be careful, Grace.
As I live and breathe, if it isn't our dear Muse.
Hi, Pan.
Tell me, have you decided to leave your troubles behind and join us in the land of shadows and revelry?
I should thank you for the address. It's what led me here.
No need to thank me. You'll owe me. Remember, how you managed to stir the sun god from his oh-so-tiresome gloom, I cannot imagine. Nicely done.
I like him. It took some convincing, but at least he's helping me without asking anything in return.
Truly, how do you function with such naivete?
Do you know something I don't?
Yes. I'm sorry, was that in question?
You must know why I'm here, right?
Let me guess. You seek our sweet-natured proprietress.
Can you help me find her?
Earlier I wasn't good enough, but now, I see how it is. By all means, I'd love to tell Persephone that the source of her rage has intruded on her domain.
What if I asked you really nicely and batted my eyelashes, like so?
Oh, no. Not my one true weakness.
I could also flatter you, tell you how shiny your horns are.
All right, all right. Never let it be said that flattery gets one nowhere. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll take you to Persephone.
I really appreciate it.
Do keep that in mind after you've spoken to her.
Oh, hey. You're the new Muse, aren't you?
I guess I am, yeah.
Aphrodite mentioned it. Didn't figure I'd see you here, though. Oh, excuse the manners. Name's Eros, god of sex.
You know Aphrodite, right? I only met her the once.
Sure, she's my mother. You know how it is.
How would I know? New here, remember?
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't thinking. Like, you hear a lot of idols talk about each other like that. You know, mother, brother, sister, grandfather. None of us are actually related. We just played a family for so many centuries, it may as well be true.
So Aphrodite is your mother, but not really.
That's right. A long time ago, she took care of me when I needed taking care of. The mortals, they just assumed. These days, well, it's not like that anymore. We're not as invulnerable as we used to be. Least of all, Aphrodite.
I'll see you around.
Count on it.
Whoa, you're here. I mean, you gotta be somewhere, but you're here.
Hello, Hermes.
Sorry about running off on you back at the thing. Didn't really have a choice, but sorry anyway.
You're not much like the other idols, are you?
No? I haven't been an idol very long. Maybe like a year? I've lost track. So, I'm not the one to ask about the idol stuff. It's all cool, but mostly I do whatever Athena asks. Athena says, one day I'll sit on the chorus. That'll be sick. Can you imagine me in charge?
Wouldn't Athena still be in charge?
Yeah, you're probably right.
That doesn't bother you?
Why would it? Athena's the nicest of the bunch. She makes the best cookies.
You've only been an idol for a year? How did that happen?
Probably same way it did with you.
Oh, the old Hermes died in your arms and then they accused you of his murder?
No. Well, yes. I mean, no, not like that. But yeah. I was there when he died. We were friends, and I was having trouble at home, and he helped me out. I miss him.
Can I ask how he died?
He didn't want to be here anymore.
You mean...
I'd rather not talk about it. I'm him now. It's all good.
We'll see you around?
If you die, then for sure. But, don't die.
I thought this would be easier, but it's as if Persephone left instructions to thwart me. Every staff member I approach screams and runs off. I hope your search has been more successful.
It might help if I knew more about Persephone.
It couldn't hurt. What would you like to know, exactly?
I thought she was just mad at me, but everyone seems afraid of Persephone.
Noticed that, did you? Persephone's angry with everyone, and has been for a very long time. She has her reasons. I can't say she doesn't, but she does not let go of a grudge. 1,000 years could pass, and Persephone will remember what you did like it was yesterday.
What's Persephone's story? Her name rings a bell, but I don't...
No doubt you've heard the tale of how Hades, lord of the underworld, kidnapped a young sweet goddess and made her his wife.
That sweet young goddess was Persephone.
Her mother, Demeter, was so enraged she blanketed the world in ice, rendering it barren and infertile. Zeus was forced to act. He decreed that Persephone would be shared between Demeter and Hades, and thus the matter was resolved. Well, you asked. That's her story, as the mortals tell it.
So tell me, how much of Persephone's legend is true?
Well, let's see. Hades did kidnap Persephone. That certainly did happen. The idols almost went to war over it until Zeus intervened and ordered Hades and Persephone to wed. That quieted things. At least until Persephone killed Hades.
Whoa.
As I understand it, Hades was not kind to her. I'd like to say we handled it well, that Zeus and the idols were mindful of what Persephone had been through, but that would be a lie. Persephone was punished for the murder, the underworld taken from her, and we all stood by and let it happen. She has never forgiven us, and honestly, I can't blame her.
Have the idols changed much, you think, since those days?
Well, you know the saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Wait, Persephone killed another idol.
Oh, long time ago, yeah.
What about all of Athena's rules? Wouldn't Persephone have been, I don't know,
Executed? The murder of Hades is probably why we now have that rule. Back then, we heard Persephone had usurped Hades' throne, but we couldn't believe it. It just wasn't done. Now, of course, I look back and think we should have seen it coming. Oh, the benefit of hindsight.
why didn't you see it coming? You're the god of prophecy.
When I look, I learned long ago not to.
I found someone who will bring me to Persephone.
Finally, I'll be right behind you.
You're coming with me? But I thought...
She seems even angrier with you than she is with me. I might be able to mediate.
We'll see, I guess.
If you're angry with anyone, Persephone, be angry with me. It was I who...
I will deal with you later. I was willing to leave you be, Grace, to wait until your guilt was certain. And yet here you are, in my domain, uninvited. Why? Are you here to beg for mercy? Are you here to challenge me? Should I be afraid?
I'm not trying to start a fight. Far from it. I came here hoping you could help me.
Help you? Perhaps you could help me instead. I'd like to understand a few things. Do you really expect us to believe that Calliope chose you? What's the real story? Did you stumble across her as she lay dying and desperate? Are you an accident? Did you learn what she was? Did you torture her, hold her at the point of death until she agreed to hand over her eidolon?
Persephone, this isn't...
You have every reason to try to prove your innocence, Grace, but I have no reason to help you.
Now would be a good time to mediate, Apollo.
Is that why you're here, brother? Because you know me so well?
Because I know that you care. Far more deeply than you could ever admit.
How would you know that? You resigned. You abandoned everything and everyone who ever needed you. You don't know the first thing about me, and you never did. Just crawl back into your dark little hole, Apollo.
You knew Calliope.
We all knew Calliope.
She was staying at your apartment.
You knew her. Better than I or anyone else suspected.
Are you implying that I had something to do with her death?
Prove you didn't. That's how idols work, isn't it?
You hear that? You're in my house, little Muse. You want answers? Fight for them. A lost little girl. You shouldn't have come here. And I sure ain't in the mood to make new friends. Go home, little girl. The shadows drawing near, and you all alone. We both know how this ends. Let's see how far she bends. We all know how this ends.
Thanks for the welcome, it's my first time here. You've made your feelings for me crystal clear. You play your show, I'll just go grab a beer. Didn't come here to quarrel with you. Love what you've done here, this place comes up well. You've nailed the theme, it really feels like hell. Guess you're not looking for new clientele. Just as well, that's a 5-star review. Let's try the easy way. Hear what I have to say.
They get younger every year. Little big shots that drift through here think they're bringing something new through the door. And you've heard it 1,000 times before. Honey, I've heard it 1,000 times before. Honey, I've heard it 1,000 times.
Why would I come down here and start a brawl? I'm just running out of time is all. If it's true that I'm just lost and small, why you keeping your guard up?
Now she's lifting rifts from pen. So familiar, so secondhand. What a stock dime a dozen troubadour. Honey, we've heard it 1,000 times before. Oh, we've heard it 1,000 times.
Then I guess you've heard it all before. Gave it my best and then you slammed the door. Raises the question, who else you'd ignore?
They get younger
Stay in the dark
every
and fight
year.
your endless war.
The little big
Certain
shots
you can't be surprised anymore.
think they're
You know,
bringing
there's
something
someone else that I speak
new.
for.
But you've heard it.
Do you hear that?
Calliope.
She had something to say. Would you turn her away?
Please don't do this. time you'll see we all rot away into who we will be. Your youth wasn't stolen like it was from me.
Let me help you.
Don't touch me. I don't need help from any of you. I was alone when you know who kidnapped and crushed all my dreams till the Muse. I just want Calliope back.
You overcame so much on your own. You should be praised. I'm done throwing stones. Please believe me. Do you see me bowing down to you, my queen? Underworld, I hereby concede. You wanted blood, well, there's no more to bleed. Your queen's above that. Now I get that. But can you help Persephone? Help a lost little girl.
Well, you won.
So it appears. If what you told the chorus is true, why do you think Calliope came to you that night?
I honestly don't know. I'm not even sure how she knew where I lived. She must have followed me.
I see. All right, Grace. Come with me. Calliope came to me years ago. She'd grown tired of arguing with the idols, tired of being branded a troublemaker. She couldn't watch the idols wither away without a fight. I knew how she felt, so I gave her the apartment.
So you must know better than anyone what she's been up to.
Not exactly. Calliope and I haven't spoken for at least 2 years. After I heard the news, I went to the apartment and turned it upside down. I had to know the truth.
That was you?
I didn't find anything. Nothing to say what she had been involved with, or gotten into, or who she might have been fighting with.
I don't know. That sounds suspicious.
I hoped I could find evidence, something that made sense. But no, it was only you.
I made sense?
At the time, but now that I've seen how clever you are, I'm beginning to wonder if Calliope didn't choose you after all.
If it wasn't Grace, that means someone else was behind Calliope's death. Someone who could keep their involvement hidden.
One of us.
Couldn't we go to Athena with this? If you've changed your minds and you're both part of the chorus...
Athena would be sympathetic, but the die has been cast.
She won't go back on the edict, not without clear evidence.
Oh, now you want evidence?
She acted on the information she had. If we want to sway her, we need something better.
Does it have to be an idol? You thought I killed Calliope. Couldn't it have been some other mortal?
Despite how we might look, it's not a simple matter to kill an idol.
It was difficult enough to believe you had done it. If another mortal killed her, they somehow escaped detection. We found nothing, no evidence of a battle.
You looked?
Of course we looked. What do you think was happening while you waited? If Calliope was attacked elsewhere, even magic revealed no trace of it.
Did Calliope have any enemies? The way you talk about her, she must have. What? What am I missing?
Calliope had a way of making people angry. She could be argumentative.
Yes, but enough to make enemies who wanted her dead?
Not that you or I know of, apparently, but that doesn't mean they didn't exist.
What about Pan? He showed up at my place out of nowhere, right after I left the chorus.
He did what?
I have to wonder what his angle is.
He has one, that's for certain. Though I've never thought of him as a killer. It would be too messy.
Still, we should consider the idea. For him to show up so quickly is odd.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You know the idols. Don't you have any ideas?
I told you I wouldn't be of much help, Grace.
Did you now? That's unsurprising. When are you ever of help to anyone but yourself?
Says the woman who forced Grace to challenge her rather than answer a simple question.
Calliope died, Apollo. Calliope, who came with us all the way from the old world.
You think I don't know that? Are you forgetting what the Muses meant to me?
Please, both of you. None of this will help Calliope. I know you both miss her. I know you cared about her, but she's not completely gone. A piece of her is in me. She came to me for help, and I don't want to die any more than she did.
Calliope, I'm listening now. Tell us what end you were doomed to.
Calliope, blinded by fire, one match did you strike that consumed you.
How could you blame her? What could she have done to earn such a fate? You are blinded.
God of the sun hides from his own eyes. What would you know about fate?
You say that you knew her, she was family to us, yet you don't hesitate to accuse her. Oh, queen without a throne, go bitter with fury. Not everyone seeks to betray you.
Stop this.
Please remember what we are here to do.
We must avenge a Muse.
Apollo, your help is not needed here. Go ahead and abandon another Muse.
How could you throw that gauntlet at me? Could your heart shrivel any further?
You abandoned me to a terrible fate.
You replay your injuries
It's
till
far
it's too
too
late.
You know how far I've been before I
Trapped.
snapped.
This is
is
not
not
about
about
you.
you.
Enough! This helps no one.
There he is, God of the sun.
Apollo, for my sake, take a deep breath. I need your help, not your anger. These old wounds, they confine you. You're more than your pain.
She abandoned us.
Follow him or stay.
That was not my finest moment. Persephone will never let this go.
What the hell was that? You were one step away from full thunder and lightning.
Old habits die hard, especially around my family. That's why I've tried to avoid my fellow idols for so long. I don't like who I am when I'm with them.
I know what you mean. I'll be 14 around my parents forever.
Try living in their house for 1,000 years.
Ooh, no thanks.
At least coming here was useful. You have a better idea of where to start looking, right?
I thought you'd decide that getting me into the underworld was enough.
What? Bring you to Persephone and then shrug? Not my problem now?
What I meant to say is... thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Sorry, I'm not used to asking people for help.
It's all right. I certainly know that tune.
Where do we look then?
I need to give it some thought. This won't be easy. If another idol is behind this, they know as well. They had a plan.
So you don't know where to look next?
I need time to sort it out. Just be patient, Grace.
I have to ask, is Athena really not an option? She wouldn't see what you see? At all?
I respect Athena. She has dragged us into the modern age, sometimes kicking and screaming. She's why we're alive. But if I said that her need to keep us safe didn't drive her to extremes, I'd be lying. You represent a risk, Grace. To her, that is more important than any notion of compassion or justice.
I'm not that much of a risk, am I? I won't explode. What's the worst that could happen?
The worst is that we could be admitting either a murderer or a usurper into our ranks.
How awful.
She's protecting an idea as much as a physical reality. It's true. To her, there is no difference.
Is there anything I can do in the meantime? Someplace I can look?
Don't you want to relax? You haven't rested since this began.
Relax? Who can relax? I've been sentenced to death, Apollo.
Fair point. Even so, go home, Grace. The next time you see me, I'll have a better notion of what to do.
Fine. But I'm holding you to that. Hey, Freddy. Have you been waiting up this whole time?
Yeah? A goat man sends you off into the night. Your life is on the line. And I'm gonna, what, sleep? What if you were taken prisoner, kept in a cave by a cyclops, or I don't know, turned into a tree? I was worried sick.
You were worried about me? Aw.
Well, you're my best friend in the whole world, Grace. Plus, what would the band do?
Right, the band. Where are Kaz and Brian anyway?
I told them you were fine, which isn't a lie, because technically you are. Now tell me everything that happened. Huh. Persephone runs a club called the Underworld. That's a little on the nose.
I wouldn't suggest saying that to her face.
And you ended up siding with Apollo? Lord of the Sun, god of prophecy? Do you trust him?
As much as you can trust an idol. I swear, Freddy, they're all nuts.
Oh, yeah. If they're even a little like the stories, you should be super careful. So, what are your options? You need to go back to Apollo's place, right?
I could go back to the Underworld. Make sure Persephone isn't taking my decision personally.
Oh, and, there's this. Pan left a card, says, "Come by Olympus." I doubt he means the mountain in Greece.
Huh. I wonder what he wants.
Probably to cash in his precious favor.
Still not a fan?
You know how some people just set your teeth on edge? That's Pan. I can't help it. But it doesn't matter. I said I'd help, and that's what I'll do. You can count on me, Grace.
Thanks, Freddy.
The Muse? Oh, the embodiment of inspiration. Can you believe it?
Yeah, kinda.